Welcoming the media aboard HMAS Swan, Lieutenant Carol Wheat alleges in 1992 she endured sustained sexual harassment in which women were called whores and lesbians.
First it was just utter disbelief that people could behave like that.
Dr. Wheat says she feared for her safety and was offended by the barrage of filthy language and innuendo. At least one man on board at the time admits behaviour was unacceptable.
It was a bit of a novelty at the time.
Everybody regretted the incidents, and I think that has brought people together with a commitment to make sure that those sort of things don't occur again.
Dr. Wheat also complained about this hole in her room, which gave her no privacy, even to dress. Throughout our tour, Navy Public Relations have been at pains to point out that the facilities available to women are comparable, if not better, than those available to the men. The inquiry, which begins tomorrow, will also look at why the officer at the centre of the affair was promoted. Helen McCabe, 7 Nightly News.
Assault and harassment at sea. The Navy has been rocked by a series of claims over the last 12 months, which has sparked something of a cultural revolution in naval ranks.
The inquiry was sparked by the harrowing story of Carol Wheat, the former Navy doctor who says she was harassed and raped on HMAS Swan in 1992.
For at least 4 weeks I was the only female officer on the ship, with 35 male officers, and I was scared for my own safety.
The charge of sexual assault was dismissed during a court-martial and by a Navy Board of Inquiry. It'll be challenged again at the Senate investigation, which begins tomorrow. Sources say further details that cast doubt on Dr. Wheat's claims will emerge. But the charges of sexual harassment on board Swan aren't denied, either by senior officers or the ship's company.
I don't think that that people were treated properly on board during that period.
I was very upset to find out that such things had gone on, but I was fairly pleased that I was in a position to be able to say that it hadn't happened to me.
Everybody regretted the incidents, and I think that has brought people together with a commitment to make sure that those sort of things don't occur again.
Dr. Wheat's claims have brought about a cultural revolution in the Navy. Senior officers say they'll now discharge anyone who can't meet modern standards of acceptable behaviour.
We do expect people's behaviour standards to change, and we will not tolerate some of the behaviours that were part of our culture many years ago.
The Navy still has a way to go, though. The toll-free phone number it set up last October to help harassment victims come forward has already led to as many as 10 new investigations.
In 1992, that they were not only harassed, but assaulted aboard HMAS Swan.
I was scared for my own safety.
At its opening this morning, the Senate committee was told that sexual harassment remains rife throughout the services.
It ranges from lurid and suggestive comments to groping and grabbing to actual rape.
Federal government inquiry today. It was set up after allegations of harassment aboard HMAS Swan. You might recall it was being called the ship of shame. In all, 5 women complained, but one, Dr. Carol Wheat, said things were so bad she feared for her safety and has since required psychiatric help. Helen McCabe accepted an invitation from the Navy to go aboard the Swan.
This is the warship at the centre of one of the most damaging chapters in naval history. The woman who sparked the Senate inquiry, Surgeon Carol Wheat.
I was scared for my own safety. First it was just utter disbelief that people could behave like that. Then I realised that it must have been part of naval life, and I became very upset about it.
Her allegations date back to 1992. She claims women were called whores and lesbians, that she was patted on the head like a dog and endured a barrage of filthy language and innuendo. The Navy also took a battering when it was revealed the officer at the centre of the more serious allegations was promoted. The Navy says it was temporary. Dr. Wheat also criticised this hole in her living quarters, which she says gave...
These are all of my friends that these allegations have been made against. I'd served on the ship at that stage for 7 months, and it was quite distressing, actually.
But Petty Officer Lee Webster admits behaviour was unacceptable.
I would say I was fairly hardened to it because I'd sort of done 18 years in the Navy. I was used to it. I don't think that that people were treated properly on board during that period, though.
Many of the men we talked to said the scandal caused considerable pressure on relationships with wives and girlfriends.
And I think the aspect which affected morale most was the fact that the ship's company really couldn't put their perspective on what was being reported in the media.
But the Navy says it now accepts there is a problem, highlighted by the extraordinary working conditions.
And that simply is not acceptable, and it certainly isn't part of the Navy that I want to be a part of, and I think most of us felt exactly the same way. It wasn't the Navy that we were a part of, and so we did have a lot of trouble coming to understand that.
And everybody regretted the incidents, and I think that has brought people together with a commitment to make sure that those sort of things don't occur again.
The Navy will be under intense scrutiny in today's Senate hearing. It hopes the experience will make it a better place to work, while giving it a chance to tell another side of the story. In Perth,